into my live dashboard. Ta-da! Starting soon. That's nice, isn't it? Maybe some people will show up. I have some fucking problems here. Ding. Sitting down as the sun's doing weird thing again. Hey, the other cam works. That's not the right scene. There we go. Not that I mean to be large. Hi, folks. So, I discovered the other day that I had one of my lav mics was missing, and after looking at the VOD and what shirt I was wearing, it apparently went through the wash. What I didn't notice was the dongle that's supposed to be plugged into my laptop is missing. I don't know how that happened or when that happened. You might be very well just hearing me the same as you did last time because it's going to the laptop or the camera or something. Yeah. So I guess I gotta replace it. But in the meantime, let's just do some cooking. I'm having some coffee. Slow start today. I've been sick for a few days. So I think my order of operations, I have the Instapot out. Right. How do I point this at the Instapot? There. You see it, right? Oh no, that's my griddle. Yeah. I'm gonna make mac and cheese today. I'm going to use this cavatappi. I have never used this before, but my son Connor gave me this, and this looks like the first thing I thought of was mac and cheese. Like, this will make really good mac and cheese. Whatever mic it is, it's really freaking loud. I'll turn it down. Alright. Like curly, it's like elbows, but they curl, they keep curling. They go a little further. It seems great. So I'm going to do this in the Instapot and hope for the best. If it doesn't work, we'll have a nice cheese sauce to put on other stuff. But I'm still practicing. I didn't have an Instapot the last couple of years. So I'll put some salt in. I've got 4 cups of water. Which is supposed to be enough, the right amount to do a whole 16-ounce thing of pasta. And oh no, it doesn't have a time. It seriously says cook until al dente on this package. You know what, I'm gonna say I would probably do this for 10 minutes. So when you do it in the Instapot, you do it for half of that. I do remember to tell you that the time on an Instapot, and water should be covering it. I'm going to put a little more water in. The time on an Instapot is a lie. I mean, it is still faster than stuff normally takes, but it kind of doesn't account for the time you put on is the cooking time, but it has to come up to pressure and temperature before that starts counting. So, this is so fancy. It's like a pro one he got me here. And it's got a bunch of functions I don't know if I'll ever use. I need to unplug something. How can I unplug safely? I guess the lav mics that are missing. There we go. So I'm gonna be on pressure cook, custom, high is fine. That's noisy. 5 minutes. And shut off the keep warm. Is it going? I swear this thing. Ooh, wait. There's a pasta setting. Why does it say 1? I don't trust that. That's nowhere near enough time. I swear. It's not... Oh, start. There we go. Oh my god. I'm sorry. This is, this new Instapot, not fancy, but it's got this menu you have to, every time you go through it, there we go, start. It's got like a big button that's the dial for the time, but it's also like you hit pressure cook, so you've got your function, but then it's got a whole list of things and you have to choose one of them or custom, and then down to the next thing and choose it and choose it and choose it. Like you have to keep pressing that button. It's way more complicated than the Not Pro. They have all these smart features that are maybe not as smart as they thought they were. Okay, next I'm going to start the biscuits. So what we're making today, hi, I'm September. And I'm going to talk about bechamel sauce. You may have heard chefs say it, but then they don't tell you what the heck it is. And just whip it up, the roux and some milk. So it's a plain white sauce. It has a lot of uses, and it's a base for a lot of things. There's basically a way to do it that we will do to make the mac and cheese, because we'll make a plain white sauce and then add cheese to it and seasoning to make a mac and cheese from scratch. You can also, I'm going to be doing it in another method by using some of my homemade breakfast sausage and browning that, and then using the fat in that, add a little flour, cook the flour a little bit, add milk, and you've got sausage gravy. And I'll be putting a ton of pepper into it because I love a ton of pepper in it myself. Hey Jess. Hey Nat. I'm going to say hi to some people in chat. Yeah, mac and cheese. It's actually, my friend Stormy Sooner there had suggested, I had a kind of a list of the thing. Yes, the 5 noble sauces. Barney, we're not that highfalutin here. Love you. Trying to make this accessible to people who maybe aren't confident about cooking. But it's just a great thing to have in your toolbox, because once you understand how it works with the bechamel, You can do the sausage gravy. You can do a cheese sauce to put on vegetables and anything else. Hi. Oh. You can do just. Oh, hold on. I gotta get it up. I like to put peas in it. If I make like a salmon loaf or salmon burgers, or I mean, you can put it on any kind of fish. Put some peas in a white bechamel sauce and maybe a little dill, and just it's a really nice add to just about any meal. Right now I'm gonna make some biscuits. This is just Bisquick and milk. You can put oil in it. I don't really find it to be necessary. I also don't measure because why would I bother? But this will be, I've never done the, rolled biscuits with layers and layers and layers. Not as big on pastry things. I will eventually, I want to maybe take on something crazy like croissants or something. So, but these are just going to be little drop biscuits. I'll do them in the toaster oven. This is parchment sheet. My son Victor and I are the only ones who will eat the biscuits and gravy anyway. No, Barney, I'm not driving to Gastonia with it. I'll see you Tuesday though. Just want these about all the same size. And so they're not going to be pretty, but you know what? It's not, it's just a device to carry the gravy. The gravy's important. So, there's that. I'm going to throw these, give me a second, in the toaster oven because I did not move that out here today. 450, 11 to 13 minutes. I'm going to have that down because it's convected. I don't know how to do 400 for about 7 minutes. But, that's the thing. If you want to go crazy and learn and make fancy good biscuits, obviously if I had, guests or something, I might do that. But instructions on the box. At least on the Bisquick box. On the off-brands I usually buy, I don't think they have those instructions. I'm just getting a notification that I went live, but y'all saw it earlier, right? So they're a pain. I know, everybody's like, oh, what a pain, but you know what? If if you've never listened to Aquilo, listen to Aquilo. It's a great show, and it really makes me want to make croissants. I identify with Miriam Dufour a lot. Speaking of which, I probably should put on an apron, but I don't really feel like it. Yes, Barney, I know you can build into other sauces with all of the sauces. I like drop biscuits too for, even with sweet ones when I make strawberry shortcake. But we're teaching people how to cook without being intimidated. I didn't go to culinary school, so. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is the sausage gravy, and then we'll screw around with the bechamel for cheese. Someday, well, I'll replace my lamp soon, I hope. I'm going to turn this up to medium high and get this pan going. when I get my lab back, you'll be able to hear me when I run back and forth. But someday, I feel like I need to get a fridge in this room to be able to do this smoother and more safe, while being safe. Oh, that's awesome, Jess. I didn't even know you were into cooking and everything. Chef John Leung, who is the host of the cooking game show I'm going to be on this month. By the way, that starts tomorrow afternoon sometime. I'm not sure exactly what time. Because he's in Calgary. He's been on MasterChef Canada. And he's hosting this factual foodie thing. And that starts tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think it's an Italian theme. It's cooking for the dawn. But it's going on every Sunday for a while. And it's trivia and cooking. And I will be on that show. Tell your friends, bring your friends, everyone. Because like a third of the points are from the chat. So I'm trying to rally the troops. But it's like the last Sunday of the month is when I'm on, and I'll be doing Australian food, where the theme is a meal for Baz Luhrmann, and I'm pretty excited about that. If I'm a big Moulin Rouge fan, and that's one of his movies, and the Cool Romeo and Juliet from the '90s, he did that. He's a very interesting, creative person, and so I've got like ideas to be a little crazy on the stream. And it's led me to research stuff in Australian food. And there's something very popular there that I'm good at. My Instapot is releasing some steam. I have to make sure it's set to only be releasing as much as I want it to. Yes, it's sealed. It's just doing a little tickety movie thing. I'm waiting for this to get hot because I do want a nice brown on this sausage. I'm only going to probably do half of this because this is a very big package. And then my family will happily be having this for breakfast for the next couple of days. Let me grab a glove. Save me one more trip to the kitchen. I know, Kanara. As always, if you're using gloves, you should wash your hands anyway, but I am going to be checking the inside of this glove to make sure nothing got inside to contaminate, as well as, and there is nothing in there. And if there were, I've got some antibacterial wipes here, just for the occasional, maybe I don't need to run to the kitchen another time and leave you guys. Okay, the sausage is cooking along. This is a spicy breakfast sausage. It's my homemade blend. Let me check chat here for a minute. Okay, it looks like my bot's working again. I thought I didn't remember if I turned it back on. Good. So you made a mac and cheese for MasterChef audition. I want to know how you made it, Jess. Is it stovetop? Was it oven baked after? I'm just gonna do a stovetop one, and it could be dumped into a casserole and topped and baked if you wanted. And we might end up, if the Instapot doesn't make any use, waving at it with my wand. we might end up with just cheese sauce to put on other stuff. Maybe I have some broccoli. I could put it on. I guess I should start grating cheese, because that's going to be a time-consuming thing. I don't know all the cheeses I want, unfortunately. I wanted to give a little bit of a cheat and put some of the Munster I got for Sean's sandwich, if you watch that stream, into the mac and cheese. But we're going to have to just balance enough that it doesn't break. Excuse me. But this is a sort of different good example, I guess, because using up odds and ends of cheese in the house is a great thing to make the mac and cheese a little more interesting. Three cheese, toasted panko, and parm. Yep, breadcrumbs. And a side of steak. Well, this side is steak. But showing that you can cook a steak properly is a great call for an audition, I think. And fried some cheese, the very Montreal thing. We do that down here in the South too, believe me. There's the height in drinking parsley. Of course, parsley. This is the guy on TikTok, Drew Cooks, where he's got a little parsley in his pocket all the time. I feel like I need to make that a habit. I don't always fly around while with the garnishes. So that's usually when it's cooking, right? And this sausage is pretty more lean than I would call it being, so I might actually add a little fat. Which will be butter, because why wouldn't you? Alright, cheeses I've got. Tail end of some sharp cheddar. I got some white New York extra sharp. I'm going to throw in some of this smoked cheddar. There's a little bit of Swiss left from, let me see, I guess the last time I went to the deli, my son got corned beef and Swiss. Which, yeah, we both love. Funny is good. I feel like personality definitely can count. Oh, good. Thanks for putting the pic in the Discord. I'll look at that when I have time. And you have to let us know. Good luck. That would be amazing if you got on there. I've never auditioned for a cooking show. I just decided to go ahead and do this, right? Make my own show. I'm going to be, I think, much sillier than I normally am. Normally I don't know, a gothy bitch here. But I've got a costume ready for this factual foodie thing that I am completely nerding out about. Although I might have to get some kind of earpiece that, because like for New Year's Eve, if you guys were here, I had to wear a headset so I have a mic so I can hear, like when I'm doing this, I don't have to hear you guys. It's just watching chat. But I'm going to have to answer trivia questions, so I'm going to have to hear the hosts and part of my outfit is a top hat, and putting that over the headset, I feel like would be a little bit of a problem. So, Rod has something he thinks might work, like an earpiece headset thing that an employer had given him that he hated, and he might try to get that working. Otherwise, I don't know, it might be a craft project. I might be sewing the top hat to my headset. Turn this down some, because I don't want to burn the butter once I put it in. And this, if your sausage is fattier, you can obviously not have to add more fat. And it's hot baked. So I think I released the pressure now. And then we'll look at it and maybe it works, maybe it didn't. Holy cow. I'm making a mess of here. I don't remember my old one. Look at this. Doing like bubbles. See it? Oh well. I'm gonna go with big chunks of sausage are cool. I'm going to add some seasoning now because I want to have it give time to perk up some. As if this is already a very well seasoned sausage. It's not going to need any salt, but I like a lot of black pepper in my sausage gravy. Feels like the point of it to me. Yeah, corned beef and Swiss. I like a good Reuben. Whenever I can get one. But I can't use it in a restaurant because you're having to make it.
I heard you mention it.
What?
The headset lets it.
Okay, thanks. We had to charge it or something, right?
It's charged.
Okay, cool. I'll put probably a good 3 tablespoons in there of flour. Always cook your flour. For safety reasons and for flavor reasons. Raw flour doesn't taste good. And it's actually where you're probably getting salmonella from in raw dough, not from the eggs. The things you learn watching Canara. We all watch Canara. My fond is coming up now that I've got the flour in here. You know what I've never done is red eye gravy. I do sometimes add a little stock if I feel like, well, if I'm doing something like store-bought sausage, so it doesn't have the kind of depth of flavor that my homemade stuff I feel does. Let this cook a little more before adding our milk. And we'll continue because I feel like I'm going to probably need all this, a little more of this cheese. I don't use all the cheese in the house, even though I'm the only one who's considering other people. I shouldn't say it's all the cheese in the house because there's blue cheese and there's goat cheese and there's a little brie, but I don't want to put any of that in here. I do recommend grating your cheese and not buying pre-grated cheese for this. Like I used pre-grated cheese when I made the jalapenos, the stuffed jalapenos on New Year's, and that's fine for that. I would not do that for an actual cheese sauce. I've got New Order in my head because I just listened to Coverville's New Order cover-up song, which I quite enjoyed most of. Some of it, no, I didn't like it. I sent it excitedly to a friend of mine who's a New Order fan as well, and he messaged me this morning like, what the hell, that boy band version was terrible. Like, stop. Okay. Almost ready for some milk. I didn't bring whisk out here. I'm not gonna probably need it for this, but I'll want it for the mac and cheese for sure. What you doing? Making a grilled cheese with the cheesy herb bread? Cool. Do you want a piece of this smoked cheddar?
No.
No?
No. When you grate over cheddar, you need to put some pesto on the interfaces, and you kind of get that butter in there.
Okay. I don't think I need any more. I don't need butter right now. I'll need it back though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna grab it and boil it for a minute.
Yeah, we're improving on the fancy grilled cheese I made for Sean.
And
All of us thought it needed something acidic or...
cheddar is totally the wrong cheese for this. With the pesto.
There's cheddar in the bread.
Yeah, I know. But I figured like with the pesto,
He's trying.
I'd be better off using like a provolone and
I won't forget my biscuits. It's in the toaster oven so it goes off. But thank you very much. Like they can't overcook because it'll go ding.
It went big, by the way.
I know. That might be what triggered Barney to say something.
No, I was wrong.
Well, I know, but this might have been a while ago. I'm not staring at my chat constantly. Very not good at that because it's down here in a little tiny place on the phone. Okay, I need to turn this up. It's not simmering and it needs to simmer to thicken. Biscuits. Little brown. Perfect. Puffed up real nice. Let's see my gravy is gravying. All the fun just come up now because there's a liquid in there. The mixer is yoinking things. Oh, good stuff. Hey, is Victor up? This release of pressure on the cooker is taking forever. I don't know if I did something wrong. Do y'all have experience with this fancy kind of Instant Pot Pro? Gracious. You're using mayo for grilled cheese? Is that what you're saying? Yes, gravy, red eye gravy is just throwing some coffee in it. I mean, I put coffee in a lot of times in barbecue sauce. It's a really nice way to give a bitter note, balance things that are too sweet or too bright. Thank you. Now I put pepper in again. This is something I want to mention that is good to do with a lot of things on your stovetop, like if you're making chili, is to give season at every stage. I'm going to taste this in a minute. I know I said it wasn't going to need salt, but this is almost what I'm going to... Still, it's a little too thick. I'm going to add a little more milk. But it's getting to where everything's cooked enough that I can taste it. But putting pepper in, there's pepper in the sausage, and then pepper before I put in the milk, and then pepper at the end. Like you want to do that when you're making chili too. Like season the meat, and then season the beans, and then season the tomatoes in, and then right before you serve, throw something a little on. Still a little thicker than I want. I'm going to go down the flour. If I need to further thin this, if it keeps thickening because you don't want it pasty, I'm going to use some stock or some water and better than bouillon because I need this milk. I need this milk for my mac and cheese. And yes, I'm just tasting with this spoon. It's my house. Yeah, it still doesn't need any salt. Oh, it's yummy peppery. But it could take salt if I need to thin it any because it's probably undersalted for most people. I like less salt than most people. I used mayo for grilled cheese when I made Sean's fancy grilled cheese. That worked really well. It's not something I normally do. I'm gonna have to look at this pressure cooker. It's giving me a concern. Like, why is it still making all this goddamn noise? It's just taking forever to release. It's on vent. That's all I can do, right? Is vent it. It's showing up high. I need to shut it off and let it vent. Alright. Nope, that looks about right to me. Awesome. Biscuits and gravy. Move this off this burner. Plate it a little, and then we'll start our cheese sauce. I wish I had one of one at home. It must be in the fucking folding jeans. No. Children.
Exactly. All the children in
Yeah, they're not really children, but
offspring. Spawn.
Spawn. Let's see, is the inside? No. So you're looking over there. Sorry about that. Cut the biscuit open. Nice and flaky. Put some sausage gravy on. And I'm not very hungry because I was waiting to hear from Rob. Can you hand me a fork? About our youngest needing a ride somewhere a little bit. Work. And Um, looks like some people had to leave. Sorry, man. I had to eat because my meds were like chewing through my stomach. So I spoiled my appetite for my stream. But I will taste to give you how this turned out. Yeah, this is why I'm fat. So I don't need to eat this, but I want to. This isn't something I make very often. I haven't made it in a while, like I said, because there was no one in the house but me who would eat it. But I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to put it aside and see if Rob will maybe text Victor and tell him to come eat this. And let's get going on mac and cheese. Did you use a cool pot, Jess, when you made your mac and cheese? I have a very, very cool pot. It's my spooky spider pot. Excuse me. Alright. Butter. I'm going to use a good big chunk of butter. Although it's been chopped down, so that's probably maybe 3 tablespoons. This isn't a very big pot. Silly. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. I'll be right back while that melts. That'll catch a child. Is it? I don't know why, but I hold that child. He's holy shit. Okay, so butter is melted. I'm going to turn that down to like a medium because I do want to control and not burn the flour. I'm going to check on this pasta situation. I think it perhaps overcooked a little just because of me not shutting it off when I vented it. Yeah, it definitely overcooked. It's breaking. So note to self: shut it off when you vent it, or put it on keep warm. Let it stay on keep warm. But it's not stuck to the bottom. And it's not complete mush, so it's fine. It just wants to break because it's heavy. Alright, I'm not browning this. I will tell you that's something you can do. That's another. You see the hands. I'm using about the same amount of flour as butter. This is pretty standard for a vegetable. Don't really need to do this close just yet. I can use a spatula, so I make sure I get it all. You can, at this stage, brown it and brown it and brown it. When you do something like a gumbo, that's a roux, and you can do many different stages of a blonde roux, or a dark roux, or a chocolate roux. It's not chocolate, it's just chocolate colored. This just needs a minute to make sure the flour is not raw and raw tasting. People get picky about milk, hot or cold. I've always put it in cold. I was taught. It never really gave me much of a problem. I'm, like I said, I didn't go to culinary school, so I kind of eyeball everything. That was, so about 3 tablespoons of butter and about 3 tablespoons of flour, and I want to say almost 2 cups of milk. And you have to bring that up to temperature, and when it's boiling, that's the point at which you know how thick it is going to get. All my life. Da, 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 da. I don't want this to be really, really smoky. I might skip this. Seasonings. I'm going to put the seasonings in here at this point. I'm going to use white pepper. Just keep it pretty. 1/4 teaspoon. Ground mustard seed. No, it's not going to make it taste like mustard, and you can put a decent amount in here. I'm good. More than that. Probably a 1/2 teaspoon. Some nutmeg is a standard thing. I don't have any whole ones, but you want to put that in almost any bechamel. I mean, there's nutmeg in breakfast sausage actually, which is a nice surprise ingredient. Hot sauce. This is another. It's not going to taste like mustard. It's not going to taste like hot sauce. The cayenne and mustard act to kind of just brighten up the cheese flavor that we're putting in. It'll just make it taste cheesier. You can add, for more cheesy cheese, actually this up a little, nutritional yeast. I'm not going to do that today. I do have some in the fridge. It's tempting, but I'm new with nutritional yeast, and I'm a little feared. Yeah, this needs to come to a boil. Then we start getting this cheese in here. I'm gonna break just a little bit of Swiss. Oh, it's like 1/2 slice of Swiss. That's okay. Taste how sharp. They said sharp, they meant sharp. For salt in this, I've got an idea. A friend of mine gave me smoked truffles a while back, and I forgot I had it until I was in the giant spice cabinet looking for something. And I feel like this is going to be a perfect place to use it. Obviously not something you need to do. Don't oversalt at this point either, because cheese is salty. Some cheeses are saltier than others. I'm sorry, this is taking so long. Oh. I see some movement that's not from me moving it. Sometimes this burner feels like it goes really, really too high on me and then too low. But you're better off too low with this, honestly, so you don't scorch your sauce. So right now what we have is a bechamel. At this point you can just thicken it and then turn it into other sauces. Like as Barney said, you can add wine to it. You can Just put like some dill and some veggies in it. Like I said before, it's like a different. It's a mother sauce. Yes, I just needed to taste it, but I was full. So there's more gravy out in the kitchen if you want it.
It's really good.
Thanks. Nice and peppery. Okay, it's starting to make a noise. It doesn't want me to pull away from the bottom. So it doesn't look thick, but it is thick enough that you need to keep it moving or it will scorch on the bottom. Yeah. So it's technically to a simmer. That's as thick as it's going to get. I have a better way to show this. Yeah, see it's coating. Even though it's silicone, but it's coating back to smooth. So let's get our cheese in. I very well may add more hot sauce, more mustard. If I feel like it's missing the tanginess from the cheese. This is another thing I don't do very often. I have lactose issues. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to take a pill to eat this and not feel really, really sick. Now it's getting that goo cheese. You can see, no, you turn this camera this way. Instead of just the thickness of the bechamel, it's got that long strings because of cheesiness happening. Turn this down further so that I will be able to taste it without hurting myself, and you want it. And be careful. This looks like right about the right amount of cheese. If I add more cheese than this, I risk it breaking it. And let's not do that. I don't know how to teach you when that here is. But there's a threshold where part of why we use all the seasonings to bring up that cheese flavor is because that tastes good and cheesy. The fat content will eventually get so that it breaks if we keep adding just more and more cheese. I feel like it's a season because pasta's going to start to have salt. I'm going to definitely put more of the truffle salt in. Regular salt will do. I feel like it needs a little nutmeg. Pepper, white pepper, and mustard and hot sauce. I'm going to do all of those things a little more. Let's be a little more careful using my hand, shall we? Hopefully I don't hurt myself with the nutmeg here. Yes, I'm using Frank, but it's hot because I don't keep plain old Milhelny Tabasco in the house, or Texas Pete, but that would work great for this too. Just a standard. You could also just put cayenne powder in too, or flakes, if you want. Like I said, we're not trying to make it spicy. You want to use less salt if you're doing something like adding ham to, because ham is salted, to your mac and cheese. Yeah. Good stuff. Take a pill just watching. It's not sugary, Barney. At least you don't have to have a shot, right? Alright. I think I'm probably gonna, forget this fancy one has handles. Let's get our, pasta in here. I don't think I'm going to use the whole pound, but we'll see how it coats up. Maybe it will. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say that, yeah, the amount we made, which was, like I said, a couple cups of milk, a few tablespoons of flour, a few tablespoons of butter. I could stretch it to put this whole pound of pasta in here, the whole box. But I'm sticking here at about half because I like it saucy. And because this pasta it's tubular, totally, that it's going to, I want to let it get in really into this pasta. So I'll use this leftover pasta for something else. Maybe a pasta salad. I mean, Rob, do we have any pesto left? We have lots of pesto left. I have actually a really good pesto from BJ's.
I only ate a tiny bit on my sandwich.
Okay.
Delicious.
Cool. All right.
Want it?
Do I plan to make a third thing just because I'm here with this pasta? No.
Okay.
No. I don't know. Maybe my audience won't want it. I want it to cool down first. Okay. So yeah, I've decided what I'm going to do with it. Man, I kind of want to bake this up with some topping. God, it feels like it deserves it, doesn't it? Let's just taste it like it is. So when I was in Las Vegas at a place called the Cornish Pasty, I had what is now my favorite pasta salad. And I probably will never go back to making it another way. Guys, it's really good. Don't be afraid of the mustard and the hot sauce. Don't skimp on it. It's really just making the cheese taste like cheese. And not get lost in the the cream sauce and the pasta. A little more salt. That's often a thing with pasta. It's going to neutralize things. I did put some salt in the pasta water, but not a ton. I'm going to put salt and some more white pepper in this. I'm not going to bake it. I don't need to add the calories. Or the crunch. Actually, my youngest son is probably going to be the person who eats most of this. If he wants to bake it, we'll go ahead and bake it. But I think he doesn't care for that part. I do, but again, I shouldn't be eating much of this. I'm trying to take off some of these pounds. I'm uncomfortably heavy. Look at it. It's beautiful. I'm really glad. I definitely Cavatelli is a pasta, a cavatappi. Was an excellent call. Way more interesting than elbows. I mean, prettier and just that extra surface area, and you can really enjoy one piece as a whole bite of food. So anyway, the pasta salad with Cornish pasty, sorry, is their dressing is just, it's pesto and lemon juice, like fresh lemon juice. Holy cow. So the challenge when you make a cold pasta salad, a lot of the time, is getting the dressing to soak in. Like, the pasta doesn't want it, and even if you al dente it, right? Like, it's not like you're cooking it in a sauce like you do with an Italian sauce. It's cold and it doesn't want to absorb it. Or you're adding a bunch of mayonnaise and then it's, goopy. Like with my potato salad, I haven't done my potato salad on stream. I have a natural potato salad. I've done German potato salad, but my regular potato salad, the secret is I marinate potatoes when they're warm. You can't really do that with like a pasta salad to really get all the flavors in, but using just the strength of just straight up lemon juice and pesto is an amazing dressing for a pasta salad. And then it's got like, I think they put olives and feta and sun-dried tomatoes and artichokes and whatever they put in theirs. But after I had theirs, I have it whenever I go to Vegas, if they have it, because sometimes they run out. And now when I make pasta salad at home, it's the only thing I buy bow ties for. I do like bow ties for a pasta salad as well. I'm not a big mayonnaise macaroni salad person. I never have been. But I actually have some sun-dried tomatoes in the house. I have pesto in the house. And I think this will be a great pasta to dress with that pesto and lemon. So, Alexa, put lemons on the list. She's not listening. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna make a pasta salad with the rest of this. I'll just put that in. I'll put a picture in the Discord. Alright, I gotta have my mac and cheese kid come out here and taste this one for me. Fletch? Seems like the right thing to do before we take off. He got a macaroni and cheese recipe recently that I didn't use from a friend because he went to their house and he's going to the same place.
Yes.
I would like you to taste this.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Good. I consider you the mac and cheese expert. You're the one who eats it all the time.
I ate the shitty dog snack though.
Yeah, I know, but you also went crazy for your friend's recipe.
Yeah, that was really
Good. He doesn't get like super enthusiastic. It's part of his condition. But a thumbs up from him is all I needed for today. And hopefully a thumbs up from you guys. Now I can take this off because it's not comfortable. I just didn't want to get my hair in our food. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. If you're not following Chef John, let me give a shout out. If it'll work. John OHNLE. I can't spell his name. Alright, so Chef John Lee Young. Follow him so that you can find it, although I believe we'll be co-streaming when I go on, but the show, the Factual Foodie Contest, starts tomorrow, so it'll be worth watching for that. So you see the beginning of the competition and people that, if I continue through eliminations, I might be going against in the future. Let's look at schedule. Shoot, here. Chef John Lee Young. It's Chef Johnleung. January 11th is Megabytes with a Z versus Shinsei Luna. I'm unfamiliar with that streamer. I should probably follow them myself. They're doing Italian-American food tomorrow. And that's the beginning of the contest. On the 18th, it's Rirar versus Terberry. O Renishi's Last Meal. They're doing Japanese cuisine. On the 25th, it's me versus Dominica's Tavern, doing a dish for Baz Luhrmann, Australian cuisine. So, and then February 1st, Pretty Good Gaming versus Jane Henry. Jane Henry, follow Jane Henry. Jane Henry is an awesome streamer. I've been really enjoying her, and she's been on here, like, I think from the beginning of Food and Drink, really. Yeah, my shoutouts aren't working. I gotta get all this fixed. Sorry about that, folks. My stream manager's being stupid. Alright, well, I hope you learned something, or at least just enjoyed hanging out with me and my robo-snail. Not sure when or what we're doing next, but tomorrow I'll be definitely watching the beginning of the Factual Foodie contest to get a beat on my opponents and make my plans. I appreciate your support. You can tip with coffee. You can look at my throne wish list to help me out. I guess that's it for now. I look forward to cooking with you soon.